Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, what's up, what's up? We back. We back, we back. Goddamn dude still acting up. One and only, what it is. Star Seed, what it do? What's up, man? So word on the street is Drake rescinded his lawsuit. Smoke one. What it is, whoa. Drake rescinded his lawsuit, y'all. That's what's going on with Drake. And he said he's scared for his life. Yo, this nigga Drake is unbelievable, man. Though just when you think he can't get no worse, he does it again. Now he's in fear for his life, y'all. He blames streamers like Casanat, you know. So I got the whole lawsuit. I know y'all probably been saying snippets. Yeah, y'all know y'all probably been saying snippets all day. But y'all know how we do. We got the law. In fact, we got 2 lawsuits today. We got Megan Thee Stallion lawsuit about an over-sexualized workplace environment where orgies and threesomes and all type of ill activity was going on. We got old Smoking Joe. Farwell speech. We gotta get that on record. See what that man had to say. Y'all have it, y'all. Make sure y'all check out that live I did on Tissa Tells Lies, man. Make sure y'all check that out. Cause she ain't stopped there. She's still telling them bitches. She's like, you don't even give a fuck. I'm gonna tell them motherfuckers until they realize they lies. You heard me? I'm just gonna keep telling them bitches. They paying me for it. Motherfuckers subscribing to the channel. Hey, fucking ain't broke, don't fix it. Might as well lie some more. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I ain't even seen it yet. This shit funny. Y'all don't forget, y'all, we on the brink of war, man. Regardless of what's going on, do not forget about what I told y'all 2027 or before. We are on the brink of war. So whatever you gotta do to get prepared. Get prepared. Cause I don't think nobody know how that shit gonna look. But before we get to all of that, we gotta check out my man Lamar Jackson. My man Lamar.
I don't really chill with people off season, like especially not other quarterbacks. Like nothing like don't get me wrong, there's no problem, nothing like that. But it's like
you talking about with the war?
We compete against each other.
You say we supposed to go to war with China in 2027.
Do you think though that because you guys were from the same draft class that you'll kind of always be linked together?
Yeah, no doubt. When we older, we'll probably laugh about it, but right now it's serious. I ain't laughing with you. For real. I don't really chill with people off season.
My man said, man, I ain't laughing with you. We need to bring that attitude back. These motherfuckers too buddy in sports now. Fuck the competition that. Y'all remember this guy? Arizona man commits suicide after exposing himself at Bikini Beans Coffee Company. Released a statement.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Yo, so the backstory is he was on some perverted shit. What you say, yo? Why you block your comment? What you say? But yeah, he they said this place had a history of dealing with this guy, man. He been doing a lot of lewd activities. So this is the Bikini Bottom coffee place. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the individual involved during this difficult time. This was an unfortunate and tragic situation. As a company, the safety of our employees is always our top priority. In this case, an individual chose to commit a crime at one of our locations. We take incidents like this very seriously and remain committed to protecting our team and maintaining a safe and respectful environment. So his mother decided to speak out, y'all. Hey, you niggas crazy, man. You never know, man. Them niggas they could be working. It could be working agents. Yo, y'all gotta hear this story if y'all ain't already heard it. Alright, so mother of Arizona man who committed suicide after being exposed for flashing coffee shop workers speaks out. This big video caused him to take his life. Well, she ain't taking no accountability for what our son was out here doing. This is the B that went up to my son's car and recorded this fucking video that caused him to take his life. She invaded his privacy by going up to his car. Please share this picture of this B so that we can make her pay. Justice for Nautica, baby boy. Your mom is fighting for you. I'm not going to rest until you have peace. Love you, my son. Gone way too soon. Let's make this girl pay, please. Everyone share this picture with your friends on every social media platform. So I guess this is the woman. And the mom said, I'm a very private person and normally don't post my family business on social media. But I think this needs to be addressed. This needs to be addressed. Bullying on social media should be a crime, especially if someone chooses to hurt themselves. This woman decided to take things into her own hands and not report what potentially happened to corporate officers because of her ignorance. Someone chose to hurt themselves. We need to use social media as a tool to encourage positive behavior, not to encourage people to harm themselves or potentially take their lives. Yeah, yo, so they say, yo, he was out here doing. Oh, let's read this. TMZ reported on this. Let's read this. New details have emerged about the tragic death of Nautica Malone, an Arizona man who died by suicide after an incident at Bikini Beans coffee location. Authorities say Malone drove to the coffee shop drive-thru without wearing pants and was spotted by an employee. According to TMZ, the employee alerted her manager after Malone rolled up to the drive-thru window naked from the waist down and reportedly was... Yo, wow. The manager recorded a video of the incident. After leaving the coffee shop, Malone drove to Goodyear, Arizona, where he died by suicide on January 11th. Last night, Temple police reported that Malone's family showed up at the coffee shop and confronted employees, accusing them of contributing to Malone's death. In a statement to TMZ, Ben Laus, the owner of Bikini Beans, calling the incident unfortunate and tragic. Laus emphasized the company commitment to the safety of the employee, adding, we take we already read that. That's crazy, man. I mean, yo was out here geeking though.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
See, yo, this shit that be tripping you out about people, right? It's why I do it. Why do it? If you that ashamed of your actions or of your behavior, why do it? That's the same thing like when these niggas be doing all this telling. You niggas want to commit all these crimes but don't want to go to jail. Like, yo, we living in a world where nobody wants to be accountable for their own actions. They say he was playing with himself or something. Nobody wants to be accountable, man. Like, this shit is sick. It's sick. Like, for real. Look, y'all, we getting back to normal.
A great day for women in America. We know from scripture and from nature that men are men and women are women, and men cannot become women. It's sad that we have to say that. It's a matter of biology. It's how we're made. And if we try to ignore that or to undo it, we do so at our peril and to the detriment of our daughters. Across the country, female athletes like Riley Gaines and Paula Scanlon and Peyton McNabb have had to compete head-to-head against biological men. It's just not right. Around the world, it's estimated that more than 700 female athletes have been displaced by males in their women's sporting events. And that has resulted in more than 1,000 estimated medals, records, and scholarships intended for women going to men. My own daughters competed in sports as they were growing up, and I can only imagine the anger I would feel as a dad if they had their trophies stolen from them. But that's indeed what many women are facing today. And it's not just anger, it's fear. Biological men competing against women also poses a threat to the safety of our girls. It's dangerous, it's unfair, it's a rejection of reality.
Yeah, we're getting back to normal, y'all.
Wrong. But today, the House voted to uphold common sense again. We voted to require all schools receiving federal funds to uphold the original meaning of Title IX and keep biological men out of women's sports. Last Congress, we voted on this legislation as well. We will note that not one single Democrat joined us. Today was an improvement. It's bipartisan. We had 2 Democrats join us. Yes. But it's shameful. There should have been many, many more. In fact, I would argue that every member of this body should have voted for common sense and to protect women. And for some reason, for politics, I guess, they chose not to. The American people sent a clear message in November. They want us to return to common sense. But it appears that some of our friends in the other party are ignoring that plea. This Congress, we have the power of a Republican Senate.
Hey, yo, the Democrats ain't never gonna get back in office. Like, yo, if they don't rearrange their political agenda, like, yo, they're never gonna get back in office unless they cheat again.
Have Donald J. Trump return to the White House in less than a week. That is going to be a sea change around here, and we can't wait. And it's a great day for women in America. We know from
Bad, salute to that, bad. I don't think that should have even been a fucking question. That shit was horrible what that was going on. Yo, look, yo, they didn't got your man Big Boogie with fake jewelry. What's up with Big Boogie, man? You can tell that jewelry look fake as all. Look at that. Hey, yo, these motherfuckers crazy. I mean, I guess it's smart, though. You know, as long as he got money, you know, man, I guess it don't matter if the jewelry fake. Surprised his neck ain't turned green, though. I mean, that shit can do that to you. Oh, that shit fake. You got a whole box of fake jewelry. CMG chain fake. Yo, funny as shit. Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, if you're a fake jewelry, more than likely you're a fake person. Yeah, man. That's typically how that goes. If you wearing fake jewelry pretending that it's real. You know? But I wanted to show a couple stories to y'all. Well, ASAP Rocky is on trial right now.
The defendant or who his girlfriend is what?
What's up, Mo? Then that G-Man.
So I should characterize as common law wife?
Told you I think it'd be a young boy working.
However you like, but yes, no,
Shit ain't changed.
whatever you want me to call. You want wife? Okay.
Yara, I think if they're not legally married, we prefer that she not be referred to as his wife, and that she is just referred to as his significant other or mother of his children?
Are they legally married anywhere?
I don't know, but certainly common law husband and wife.
If they're legally married anywhere, there's no common law marriage that's recognized.
Church court, whatever.
If they are legally married anywhere, she will be his wife. If they are not legally married anywhere,
Some ain't right with him.
Significant other. Okay.
Some ain't right with him pimping. I know a lot of people around him go to jail. He always seem to be spared. Yeah, it's a reason why I say YoungBoy not right, y'all. And the reason I'm gonna tell you, it's just maybe you didn't hear this story. The reason why I say NBA YoungBoy not right is because, do y'all remember NBA YoungBoy got arrested in Miami? Well, when NBA YoungBoy got arrested in Miami behind a supposed T Grizzly shooting with the valet driver got murdered. The judge in that case, or YB probation judge, was not releasing her. And she made it very clear. Like, yo, the chances of you making it out this situation without going to jail was slim to none. I remember it like it was yesterday. In fact, I did videos on it. And what ultimately ended up happening was YoungBoy ended up sitting for like 30 days or 90 days. He sat for like 90 days. And when they released him, she also canceled out his probation. Like that was strange as a motherfucker. Like, how you cancel out somebody's probation after a crime was, well, it wasn't, they didn't do anything. I think they was victims. But how do you just cancel out somebody's probation after that? You know, people go to jail for getting shot. Now you got a situation where he got shot at and somebody got murdered and he got held, detained for 90 days, and then they released him. But this is the thing though, Mo. Before they released YoungBoy, two things happened. Two strange things happened. NBA Big B got arrested for a crime that happened in 2016. Mind you, this was 2019. He got arrested for a crime that happened in 2016 when NBA YoungBoy was, matter of fact, the same charge that NBA YoungBoy pled guilty to when he was 16 years old. 3 years later, when NBA YoungBoy is booked, NBA Big B get locked up for it. Strange as motherfucker. But that's not all what happened though. Also, Lil Pab got released. Pat, what's his name? Pat. What's the one? I got released, got arrested. What's the one I got locked up for G Money? Shorty got arrested. And then next thing you know, a month later, YoungBoy spring back home. Spring back home, not on probation. It was very strange, you know, from what I know about the system, that shit don't work that way. And it was mighty strange, especially Big B. Now, Pat or Pad, whatever the fuck you pronounce his name. Okay. But for Big B to get locked up for a crime that happened 3 years prior, a crime where everybody already played out, that was strange. That was strange. Yeah, because I think he made a deal with them people. I think they attached themselves to YoungBoy because YoungBoy had too much influence. Like, yo, if people remember, yo, when YoungBoy came out, YoungBoy was like Michael Jackson. Like, we might not never see another YoungBoy like that again. You feel me? Like, Shorty had all these kids wanting to be like him, talk like him, walk like him, dress like him. And I think the feds realize that. And that can become a problem. Now, it's cool when you doing the white man's bitten, you know, when you rapping gangster music. But if you was to ever decide to switch it up, that can cause major problems. So I think the feds seen that and was like, yo, we got to get him under our possession. We got to get him under our control. Yeah, and he lost it. He don't have that influence no more. They took it from him. But I think YoungBoy opened that door in Miami when he got booked. he opened that door for him. Look it up. Look up the dates. Look up when YoungBoy got booked for Miami. Look up when YoungBoy got released in the Miami situation when he was in Baton Rouge. Look up when Pat got booked for G Money murder. Look up when Big B got booked for G Money murder. You can be like, damn, that's strange as a motherfucker. So YoungBoy get locked up. Two of his mans get booked. YoungBoy come home. Then after that, the feds been on his ass ever since. I don't know what y'all want to call that, but to me, that looks like a motherfucker working. And then we just heard that he'd be allowed to smack his friends, and they better not do nothing. So I wouldn't be surprised to know if they know that boy ain't right and ain't saying nothing. We saying that, right? He put his hands on his friends, and they better not do nothing to him. I can see that I can see them excusing him, right? And still fucking with him. But I wanted to show y'all 2 stories. And then we're gonna go to the regular scheduled program. Then we're gonna go to the regular scheduled program. What the fuck is that? Oh, all right, look at this, y'all. Did y'all hear about this? Man, sweet the Skilla Baby, man. Skilla Baby agrees to cover funeral costs for 13-year-old Naziah Harris. Authorities believe she was killed by her aunt's 41-year-old boyfriend after becoming pregnant with his child. Yo, this shit is crazy. Listen to this shit, y'all. Man, sweet the Skilla Baby, man. This story out of Detroit.
Devin Skillian in for Karen Drew. We are learning more about the circumstances surrounding 13-year-old Naziah Harris's death. The accused in that death in court today facing murder charges. Let's get to Sean Lay live from 36th District Court.
That's what they said, though, Lloyd.
Devin, right here talking to family members of Naziah Harris, they tell me exactly what everyone's thinking. This just keeps getting worse. Before we get to the video here, real quick, he was charged, Buds, today with 3 different charges against 3 different victims. One, a girl under the age of 13 that he was allegedly sexually assaulting. Another one, a 4-year-old, apparently his own daughter, charged with that, and giving her a sexually transmitted disease, and then the disappearance, murder.
Yo, what the fuck? Man, they need to get rid of his ass. Like, the worst way. I can't wait till he gets to the joint. They gonna tear his ass up, but he might not even make it to court. I hope they don't protect him. Yo, so they saying he killed his girlfriend, niece, and he gave his own daughter a STD. This nigga's a fucking pervert. Sick bastard. See, yo, these type of people can't be revitalized. Like when they go that route, them motherfuckers they dead weight. Might as well discard them, forget them. Like, yeah, it's Detroit.
Assault of Naziah Harris. Let's take you right inside court. That's happening just moments ago inside 36th District Court. In cuffs, in the mask, green jumpsuit. That's 41-year-old Jarvis Butts. Now, prosecutors laid out a new motive about why Naziah Harris went missing last January 9th. Butts was due to turn himself into prison.
His name
January
Butts.
9th.
Get the fuck out of here.
In for Karen Drew.
And his name is fucking Butts.
January 9th on a gun charge. And prosecutors say the motive was he could not allow Naziah Harris to have his child. She was pregnant with his child. He apparently knew that, and so they called that Butts' Naziah Harris problem. Absolutely sickening, and he allegedly took care of that problem, although her body has never been found. Naziah's aunt, who we've never seen or spoke with before, she was here for all of it, and she's never talked publicly before. I asked her exactly just a few minutes ago, who was ultimately responsible for looking after this little girl?
In my personal opinion, with no affiliation, there are multiple parties involved, as many have already stated. And I just have to hold on to hope that the entire truth will come to light. This is the beginning of the truth, and we're very grateful for this part, but the entire story will come out.
Back here live, the same question we're asking right here. Where it January 9th on a gun charge. And prosecutors say the motive was he could not
They
allow
didn't find her
Isaiah
yet.
Harris. This girl's body, prosecutors say all the evidence points to her no longer being with us whatsoever. Harris himself in cuffs, you saw there, he's serving that time for the gun charge, so he was remanded. Absolutely no bond for him until his next court date coming up. With new information, we'll break it all down again for you at 5 o'clock. The story just keeps getting worse, Devin.
Sure does. All right.
Is this
They didn't find. They didn't find the.
all the
They didn't find the girl yet. So let's read what it says. Y'all see that? Make it bigger. Authorities suspect that Butts, the boyfriend of Zayah's aunt, picked her up after she got off her school bus and attempted to perform a homemade abortion. Court documents reveal text messages that allegedly support investigators' claims that Zayah was pregnant with Butts' child at the time of her death. Butts has been charged with first-degree premeditated murder, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child sexual abuse activity in connection with Zayah's case. He is also accused of sexually abusing 2 other young girls in a separate incident. One of these victims, a 4-year-old child, reportedly contracted chlamydia following an assault by Butts. Yo, this nigga. They need to kill his ass. Like, for real. Just kill him. That's what they need to do. Just get it. Just end it. Obviously, he's struggling in his mind. Just put him out of his misery. They're gonna tear his ass up in the joint, though. He gonna have a hard way to go in the joint. Oh my God, it's gonna be devastating. And what was the other story I wanted to show y'all? Was that the only story? I think that was the only story, y'all. All right, so let's get to the farewell. Cause I ain't watched that yet. Joe Biden farewell speech. Yeah, they're gonna fuck him over. They're gonna fuck him over.
I became a medical assistant in less than 7 months.
I'm gonna report on his ass.
You're not gonna believe how easy this is. Just headed over to med.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office.
Yeah, they're gonna get him.
Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today. After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans. This will be my final address to you from the American people from the Oval Office, from this desk as president.
I can't wait.
And I've been thinking a lot about who we are and maybe more importantly who we should be.
He fucked the whole world up.
Long ago, in New York Harbor,
war and shit.
an iron worker installed beam after beam, day after day. He was joined by steel workers, stonemasons, engineers. They built not just a single structure, but a beacon of freedom. The very idea of America was so big, we felt the entire world needed to see. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France after our Civil War. Like the very idea of America, it was built not by one person, but by many people, from every background and from around the world. Like America, the Statue of Liberty is not standing still. Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain.
Oh my God.
Bondage.
What are you talking about, man?
She's on the march. And she literally
Just get out of here, man.
She was built to sway back and forth to withstand the fury of stormy weather. To stand the test of time because storms are always coming. She sways a few inches, but she never falls into the current below. An engineering marvel.
Yeah, he is.
The Statue of Liberty is also an enduring symbol of the soul of our nation. A soul shaped by forces that bring us together and by forces that pull us apart.
Who the fuck wrote this shit for him?
And yet through good times and tough times,
He's gonna speak to saying some things that matter.
A nation of pioneers and explorers, of dreamers and doers, of ancestors.
Yo, nobody wants to hear that, Joe. Like, get to the point.
We know the idea of America, our institution, our people, our values that uphold it, constantly being tested. Ongoing debates about power.
Man, Shane came in hot.
But whether we lead by the example of our power or the power of our example.
Oh, goodness.
Whether we show the courage to stand up to the abuse of power or we yield to it. After 50 years at the center of all of this, I know that believing in the idea of America means respecting the institutions that govern a free society. The presidency, the Congress, the court.
Right, so 16. Like, yo,
free and independent press.
Like, anybody trying about no fucking Statue of Liberty, man. Like, the fuck is you talking about, Joe? Like, who the fuck wrote that dumb ass shit? Nobody cares. Nobody want to hear about that, bro. Nobody. I don't think not one person that listened to the speech wanted to hear that. Like, you could have just took that out the whole speech.
Institutions that are rooted, they just might not reflect the timeless words, but they
Hey, salute to yo.
They echo the words of the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Rooted in the timeless words of the Constitution, we the people. Our system of separation of powers, checks and balances, may not be perfect, but it's maintained our democracy for nearly 250 years, longer than any other nation in history that's ever tried such a bold experiment.
They
in the
stole
past
it,
4
yo.
years,
They stole
our
it.
democracy is held strong.
That's the funny thing
And
about
every
it.
day I've kept my commitment to be
fucking
president
stole
for
it, yo.
all Americans.
They made everybody go in the house. They they ran this narrative on the fucking the you know, the shit that they did, and they stole the votes. But they did, and it's crazy because they prosecuted Trump for admitting it. The motherfucker stole the votes, man. That's what happened, yo. It's obvious. If anybody remember that election, yo, he was down majorly at 2 o'clock in the morning. How the fuck you wake up at 6 and he win? Like, this shit, it didn't even make sense. Like, like, yo, he was kicking his ass, man. There's no way he won that election, yo. Honestly.
For one of the toughest periods of
I was watching too, Shane.
I've had a great
I
partner.
woke up like, what the fuck happened?
Harris.
In 3 hours.
It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers getting us through a once-in-a-century pandemic. The heroism of service members, of first responders, keeping us safe. The determination of advocates standing up for our rights and our freedoms instead of losing their jobs to an economic crisis that we inherited. Millions of Americans now have the dignity of work. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses and industries, hiring American workers, using American products.
Man.
Together.
I want to hear why the fuck y'all allow all them immigrants to come over this bitch. Like, yo, talk about some shit that matters, bro. Like, I think that's what everybody want to know. Where was the thought process into allowing 20 million immigrants over this bitch? Like, leave us with that. That ain't something that we can think about. Like, all right, you know, that makes sense. Or, man, what the fuck? That shit sound dumb as shit. Like, we want real answers, man. That's what this should have been. This should have been, instead of a farewell speech this year, this should have been a question and answer. I'm answering all questions by the people because this whole administration was fucking questionable. Felt like we got sold out to foreign fucking adversaries. Or, man.
We've launched a new era of American possibilities. One of the greatest modernizations of infrastructure in our entire history. From new roads, bridges, clean water, affordable high-speed internet for every American. We invented the semiconductor, smaller than the tip of my little finger.
That's what it seemed like.
And
yeah,
now
right.
it's bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong, creating thousands of jobs. Finally, giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for millions of seniors. And finally, doing something to protect our children and our families by passing the most significant gun.
We want to know why did y'all try to change women's sports? Like, why y'all thought it was a good idea to allow trans men to compete with women? Like, yo, I want to hear that. Like, for real. Like, some of that shit deserves a motherfucking it deserves an explanation. What was the thought process of going into that, Joe?
Safety law in 30 years, and bringing violent crime to a 50-year low. Meeting our sacred obligation to over 1 million veterans so far who are exposed to toxic materials and to their families.
He reading off a fucking teleprompter.
And more for their families. You know,
yeah, wow.
It'll take time,
yeah, straight up,
to feel the full impact of all we've done together. But the seeds are planted, and they'll grow and they'll bloom for decades to come. At home, we've created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than any other single administration, a single term. More people have health care than ever before. And overseas, we've strengthened NATO. Ukraine is still free.
Yo,
and we pulled ahead of our competition with China. So much more.
Yo, this nigga ain't said nothing of substance yet. We 6 minutes in.
More.
Come on, Joe. You gotta tighten up these last 11 minutes.
We've accomplished together for the American people.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And I wish the incoming administration success, because I want America to succeed. That's why I've held my duty to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition of power, to ensure we lead by the power of our example. I have no doubt that America's in the position
but yo, this is why motherfuckers is voting for Trump. Yo, people don't want to hear this political jargon. Like, nobody wants to hear that shit, man. Motherfuckers want to hear the real. Regardless if you like it, dislike it, we want to hear the fucking real, yo, not this shit. Like, do away with this shit. Like, let this be the last president that talks like this. Like, fuck that, yo. Nobody want to hear that shit.
That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
What's their names? If you're going to say some shit like that, put them out there. We talking about Trump and Elon Musk and that? Like, yo, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Fuck you mean an oligarch is taking over America? Who? Put a name on it or don't say the shit.
Our basic rights and freedoms and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead.
The world fucked up.
We see the consequences all across America. And we've seen it before. More than a century ago, the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had.
That is kind
Workers want rights to earn their fair share. You know, they were dealt into the deal and it helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen. We've got to do that again. The last 4 years, that is exactly what we've done.
No, the fuck you didn't.
People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share of taxes. So much is at stake. Right now, the existential threat of climate change has never been clearer. Just look across the country, from California to North Carolina. That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever in the history of the world. And the rest of the world is trying to model it now. It's working.
You'll be pissing me off.
Creating jobs and industries of the future. Now, we've proven we don't have to choose between protecting the environment and growing the economy. We're doing both. The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence.
Right, what the fuck is he talking about? From California. California on flames right now.
To serve their own interest for power and profit.
County is.
We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. must keep pushing forward and push faster. There's no time to waste. It's also clear that American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives. We see the same dangers, the concentration of technology, power, and wealth. You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote. 6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies.
Yo, you serious? Yo, that fact-checking shit was bogus. Yo, that shit was bogus. Yo, we just talked about that shit the other day. That wasn't fact. That was a fucking attack on free speech. Shit wasn't no fucking fact-checking. That was kicking people off the internet, taking motherfuckers' pages. Like, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Toll for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risks for our economy and our security, our society. For humanity.
That's what it looked like.
Artificial intelligence even has the potential to help us answer my call to end cancer as we know it. But unless safeguards are in place, AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy, how we work, and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy and good for all humankind. In the age of AI, it's more important than ever that the people must govern. And as the land of liberty, America,
for real, boy,
not China, must lead the world in the development of AI. You know, in the years ahead, it'll help to be, it can be up to the president, the presidency, the Congress, the courts, the free press, and the American people.
Right, for that.
To confront these powerful forces. We must reform the tax code. Not by giving the biggest tax cuts to billionaires, but by making them begin to pay their fair share. We need to get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions. We need to get it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, term limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court. We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office. The president's power is not limited. It's not absolute. It shouldn't be. And in a democracy, there's another danger to the concentration of power and wealth. It erodes a sense of unity and common purpose. It causes distrust and division. Participating in our democracy becomes exhausting and even disillusioning. And people don't feel like they have a fair shot.
Y'all got me on the bitch trip.
We have to stay engaged in the process. I know it's frustrating. A fair shot is what makes America America. Everyone's entitled to a fair shot. Not a guarantee, but just a fair shot. An even playing field. Going as far as your hard work and talent can take you. We can never lose that essential truth. Remain who we are. I've always believed, and I've told other world leaders, America can be defined by one word: possibilities. Only in America do we believe anything is possible. Like a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, sitting behind the this desk in the Oval Office as President of
what?
the United States. That's the magic of America. It's all around us.
Oh, so now he had
upstairs in the residence
so
school.
now he had a stuttering problem when he was a kid. Like, yo, this guy's crazy, man.
White House. I've walked by a painting of the Statue of Liberty I don't know how many times. In the painting, there are several workers climbing on the outstretched arm of the statue that holds the torch. It reminds me every day I pass it of the story and soul of our nation and the power of the American people. There's a story of a veteran. This is a veteran, son of an immigrant, whose job was to climb that torch and polish the amber panes so rays of light could reach out as far as possible. He was known as the keeper of the flame. He once said of the Statue of Liberty, quote, speaks a silent universal language, one of hope, that anyone who seeks and speaks freedom can understand. Yes.
Yeah, he said a whole bunch of
we
nothing,
sway back and forth to withstand the fury of the storm, to stand the test of time. A constant struggle, a short distance between peril and possibility. But what I believe is the America of our dreams is always closer than we think. It's up to us to make our dreams come true. Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people, to the members of my administration, as well as public service and first responders across the country and around the world. Thank you for stepping up to serve. To our service members and your families, it's been the highest honor of my life to lead you as Commander-in-Chief. And of course to Kamala and her incredible partner.
Yo, he said a whole bunch of nothing.
Historic Vice President.
This is the worst farewell address I've ever seen in my life.
Family's everything. My deepest appreciation to our amazing First Lady who's with me in the Oval today. For our entire family. You're the love of my life and the life of my love. My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years of public service,
retire.
I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
Yeah,
thank you for this great honor.
Get the fuck out of here, man. You fucking sold us out your whole 4 years. Hold up, y'all. How much? What is the total amount that Joe Biden gave Ukraine? Hold up, y'all. Fuck that. Yeah, we ain't ready to let him get off that easy. Get the fuck out of here. We ain't letting him get off that easy. What is the total amount of dollars that Joe Biden give Ukraine?
According to Newsweek.com, the Biden administration on Thursday unveiled outgoing President Joe Biden's final aid package for Ukraine, which is reported to leave $3.
Yo, look at this shit. Yo, he gave them motherfuckers like $70 billion, man. What the hell? Look at this shit. And which provides 13.6 and 40 billion in emergency funding. President Biden signed Ukraine at 223. He gave him another 12, 47. Yo, he gave these motherfuckers over $100 billion. Yo, fuck is he talking about? Hold on, we ain't done. What's the other people? Who the other people he's playing? How much money did Joe Biden give Iran?
According to WSJ.com, The Iranian surge in oil exports since President Biden took over has brought Iran an additional $32 billion to $35 billion, according to the Foundation for Defense of Democracies.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Yo, get this motherfucker off. I bet I don't even want to see him on TV no more. I don't want to even see him on TV no more after this, man. That man gave out down there $200 billion overseas. Man, get the fuck out of here. This man's a fucking bozo. Ain't no telling who else he paid. The fuck. They the only ones that we heard across the, they made that news. Alright, y'all, so now we got Drake, y'all. Drizzy Drake. So Drizzy Drake is dropping his lawsuit against UMG.
Drake new lawsuit. Sir Lucian Grange, Chief Executive Officer of UMG, March 25th, 20241. In the middle of the night on May 7th, 2024, an armed group of assailants drove up to the Toronto house in which Drake and his family resided. Drake was inside. The car stopped in front of the residence. Someone yelled, "Fuck Drake," and at least one gunman began to open fire. One bullet went through the security gate and hit Drake's front door. Another bullet struck and wounded a security guard, who was also one of Drake's friends. While the car drove away, Drake and others in the house summoned help for the security guard and did everything possible to keep him alive. During the nearly 30 minutes it took for the ambulance to arrive, Drake and one throughout. References to UMG shall include any UMG employee, affiliate, agent, and anyone working on UMG's behalf. Case 1:25C00399 Document 1 filed January 15th, 25 page 1 of 81. Two others labored to keep the man alive by applying pressure to the gunshot wound with towels. Blood was everywhere. After the security guard arrived at the hospital, surgeons worked quickly to remove the bullet, stop the bleeding, and save his life. Though it took days for his condition to stabilize, thankfully the security guard survived. The very next day, May 8th, 2024, a different intruder used his bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence surrounding Drake's Toronto house. He managed to dig deep enough to squeeze through and enter Drake's property. Fortunately, Drake home security guards caught him before he was able to cause any physical harm. Although the trespasser managed to yell racist slurs and threats against Drake before being escorted off the property. On May 9th, 2024, the very next day, another break-in attempt happened. In the 2 decades leading up to May 2024, although Drake was constantly in the public eye, nothing remotely like these events had ever happened to him or his family. But these events were not coincidental. They immediately followed and were approximately caused by UMG's actions leading up to and on May 4th, 2024. All right. Drake new lawsuit against UMG is the world's largest music company, and also the music company that has represented Drake for more than a decade. Yet, on May 4th, 2024, UMG approved, published, and launched a campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that falsely accuses Drake of being a pedophile and calls for violent retribution against him. Even though UMG enriched itself and its shareholders by exploiting Drake's music for years, and knew that the salacious allegations against Drake were false, UMG chose corporate greed over the safety and well-being of its artists.
In controversy, UMG saw an opportunity, seized it, and continued to fan the flames even after learning of the enticement to violence on May 7th and 8th, along with the unrelenting vitriol towards Drake that has followed. The song in question is Not Like Us, the recording, written and performed by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, professionally known as Kendrick Lamar. The recording was intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, and false factual allegations that Drake is a criminal pedophile, and to suggest that the public should resort to vigilant justice in response. Hey, yo, where the fuck? Yo, that song did not do that. The recording is defamatory because its lyrics, its album image, and its music video all advance the false and malicious narrative that Drake is a pedophile.
The lyrics repeatedly accused Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including by calling him a certified pedophile and a predator who needs to be placed on neighborhood watch. Hey, yo, that's fucked up. Yo, my bad, yo. Y'all did not expect to read that, though. Yo, get the fuck out of here. Hey, yo, I did not expect to read that. Let me read it again, yo. The lyrics repeatedly accused Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including by calling him a certified pedophile and a predator who needs to be placed on neighborhood watch. The image was designed to reinforce, and in fact reinforces, that accusation by depicting Drake's actual Toronto house covered in the icons that are known to be used by law enforcement, as well as public safety applications like Citizen to identify child sex offenders, residents online. The video boasted the same message by, for example, showing images associated with sex trafficking and juxtaposing the game of hopscotch with lyrics accusing Drake of trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. Hey, yo, get the fuck. Yo, why did Drake do? Yo, Drake is out of control, yo. He's out of control. Hey, yo. This lawsuit is not about the artists who created Not Like Us. It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize allegations that it understood were not only false but dangerous. As UMG knows and has known at all relevant times, the recording, image, and video allegations are unequivocally false. Drake is not a pedophile. Drake has never engaged in any acts that require he be placed on neighborhood watch. Hey, yo, Kendrick funny shit. Hey, yo, I thought Kendrick was talking about his homeboy, man. What's the guy name? The homeboy that got in trouble and shit for fucking with the kid for running a sex trafficking ring. Drake has never engaged in a sexual relationship with a minor. Drake has never been charged with or convicted of any criminal acts whatsoever, notwithstanding his knowledge that the allegations are fabricated. Starting in May of 2024, UMG wagged an unrelenting campaign to spread the recording, image, and video as widely as possible. UMG did so because it understood that the recording's inflammatory and shocking allegations were a gold mine. Spreading the defamatory material served multiple business purposes for UMG. First, the more people who listened, streamed, watched, and downloaded the defamatory material, the more money UMG and its executives would make. Second, UMG's Interscope Records owns Lamar's entire back catalog of recorded music. The leadership of Interscope had every incentive to prove it could maximize Lamar's sales, after only recently persuading him to enter into his own direct license for a limited recording commitment of new music. Third, in contrast with Lamar's first direct deal, UMG's contract with Drake was nearing fulfillment. And on information and belief, UMG anticipated that extending Drake's contract would be costly. By devaluing Drake's music and brand, UMG would gain leverage to force Drake to sign a new deal on terms more favorable to UMG. Well, you don't have to sign with UMG, Drake. You could have packed your bags. UMG campaign was successful. The recording cloaks cleverly dangerous lyrics behind a catchy beat and inviting hook. Capitalizing on those attributes, UMG used every tool at its disposal to ensure that the world will hear that Drake like I'm young. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, why is this lawyer putting this verbiage in there, man? Like, yo, come on, whoever this lawyer is. This is out of control. It's like he having fun with this shit too. The defamatory material has been played billions of times, and its far central message has gone viral via social media and legacy media channels in dozens of languages. God damn, they fucking singing that shit in Chinese. At minimum, hundreds of millions of people spanning the globe. It is not just fans of rap music who now believe that Drake is a certified pedophile. The recording has become ambiguous. UMG used its promotional resources and exclusive licensing rights to place the recording on numerous national televised events, including but not limited to award shows, national political events, and more. But billions of plays and ubiquity, what's that? Yeah, ubiquity, were not enough for UMG. Over the course of the last several months, UMG has made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections via sophisticated and highly organized publicity campaigns to arrange for the recording to be performed at one of the most significant and viewed cultural events this year, the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what this shit is all about, yo. That's what everybody was saying. Drake does not want this song played at the Super Bowl. Oh, I got you. UMG is legally responsible for the release, publication, and promotion of the defamatory material, including the foreseeable consequences of the same. UMG's business is to possess the exclusive rights to produce, to distribute, and to license music, including over the internet. In other words, it is only with UMG's explicit approval that the defamatory material could have been released in the first instance and later streamed, shared, performed publicly, and exploited by content creators on TikTok and Instagram. Damn, yo, we helped exploit Drake. UMG's campaign went well beyond the traditional music company playbook. Indeed, UMG has unleashed every weapon in his arsenal, including on information and belief, certain practices that are unlawful. In a memorandum to staff reflecting on highlights of 2021, Sir Lucian Grains remarked that it was harder than ever for artists to break through the noise. As for example, 60,000 songs are added to Spotify every day. UMG made sure that Not Like Us broke that noise. For one, UMG took the unprecedented steps, contrary to its internal practices, to remove the recording's copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the recording to ensure content creators will publish it broadly. Yo, but they all did that though, yo. They all did that. Yo, you can play all Drake songs too. So that's the bullshit, y'all. On information and belief, y'all remember we played both. We played all that. We played Drake songs and Kendrick, and they ain't copyrighted until like 2 days later. UMG and his agents further put a thumb on the scale by covertly offering financial incentive to third parties to deceptively stream the recording to streaming platforms, to play the recording on the radio, and to otherwise promote and endorse the defamatory material, all without ever publicly disclosing the payments. These actions not only spread and further ingrained the defamatory statements in the minds of the public, but deceive consumers and harm Drake economically. Predictably, millions of people who listened to the recording or saw the image and video believed the defamatory material to be true. UMG had previously published Lamar's song Euphoria, which also widely understood to be targeted at Drake, and which stated, "Don't tell no lie about me and I won't tell truth about you," as voluminous public commentary confirms. The average listener or viewer has understood the defamatory material to reflect the truth rather than the art of hyperbole. In other words, one commentator now, everybody believes that Drake loves touching children. Yo, Drake funny as shit, yo. This lawyer should not have wrote this up like this. All right, I'm ready to switch out.
Against Drake.
Oh my goodness.
Two others labored to keep the man alive by applying pressure to the gunshot wound with towels.
Man.
Blood was...
You're not up there. You're on page 6. Yeah, here we go. We're right here.
Drake new lawsuit against UMG's greed yielded real-world consequences. As described above, it was just 3 days after UMG originally published the recording and image that Drake was targeted at his Toronto house by armed intruders in the 2024 equivalent of Pizzagate. The online response was similarly violent and hateful. An avalanche of online hate speech has branded Drake as a sex offender and pedophile, among other epithets. Public commentary has repeated the false claims that Drake is a pedo and sexual abuser on the level of Weinstein, Diddy, and Epstein.
Damn!
God
damn! See, yo, I wasn't doing shit like this, yo. Like, yo, Yo, that's the internet for you, yo. Like, god damn. Yo, how you gonna put Diddy? Diddy ain't been found guilty or nothing. What the fuck? Like, yo, this is crazy, yo.
Traffic as children in shipping containers and harbors convicted sex offenders in his Toronto home.
Damn.
In direct response to UMG's publications, social media users called for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, to come at this point and for Drake to be locked up and behind bars. 16. The mob-like response to the recording continues to unfold on and offline. Recently, flyers were plastered all over Toronto with a photo of Drake and a Canadian YouTuber who was sentenced to 3 years in prison for sexual assault with the words "Canadian sex predators gotta stick together."
Hey, yo, fuck no. Who the fuck did that? Hey, yo, but that's some Canadian shit. He gotta take that out with his guys, man. The fuck? But that's fucked up. Yo, who did this, yo? Who the fuck did this? We need answers. Who plastered this all over Canada? Yo, Canada off the chain, you ain't lying. Oh, man. Damn, Drake. Yo, well, what about the claims he made? That man said the man's kids wasn't his and accused his wife of sleeping with his friend.
Drake new lawsuit. With the palpable physical threat to Drake's safety and the bombardment of online harassment, Drake fears for the safety and security of himself, his family, and his friends. After the attacks on his home, Drake pulled his son out of the elementary school he attended in Toronto due to safety concerns, and once school ended for the summer, Drake arranged for his son and mother to leave Toronto entirely. Day to day, Drake continues to take steps to address persistent threats to his security.
God damn, Drake, you scared like that? All that gangster shit you be talking? Get gangster. Here's your opportunity. The first opportunity in your life to become a gangster, and this is what you doing. Get the fuck out of here, man. Drake crazy as shit.
Threats to his security. 18. The violence and vitriol directed at Drake was foreseeable. The recording falsely accuses Drake of one of the most vile behaviors imaginable, and explicitly calls for retaliatory violence and retribution against him. The false pedophile accusation is a devastatingly effective method of assassinating someone's character online. When spread virally, the accusation can destroy an individual's reputation and brand in a matter of days. As one expert on conspiracy theories has explained, there's always been a certain amount of salaciousness in these conspiracy theories. And if it involves children, people immediately just lose their mind, even if these children don't exist. 10. If you just put out the suggestion there, it grabs a hold in a way that is difficult to dislodge. 1119. UMG understands just how dangerous these kinds of false allegations are. Indeed, when it comes to allegations against UMG and its executives, they have not hesitated to take legal action against their accusers. Just last year, UMG and Sir Grange were accused, in their words, without the slightest factual basis, of aiding and abetting Sean P. Diddy Combs in criminal
sexual acts. Moving to dismiss the complaints against them, UMG and Sir Grange argued that the accusations were offensively false allegations of criminal behavior that would be, whatever, if not contained within a legal filing. Sir Grange, why the fuck they call him Sir Grange? Sir Grange called the allegations against him knowingly and maliciously false and defamatory. Sir Grange also explained that a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and when it takes years to rebuild a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. Thus, recognizing that false allegations against him might interfere with his efforts to lead an honorable personal and professional life, Sir Grange promised to pursue those who have made those outrageous allegations against him.
Catherine Kim, Pizzagate, QAnon.
Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Drake knew. In stark contrast, when Drake confronted UMG about its role in promoting allegations of sexual misconduct lacking the slightest factual basis against him, UMG refused to do anything to help. Instead, UMG continued to republish and promote the defamatory material, even after Drake had unequivocally denied the allegations in public and had communicated that in private to UMG. Drake informed UMG of the tangible harm that the publication and promotion of the recording had caused him, including violence, threats, reputational and financial damage, and more. Yet UMG still chose money over the safety and 12 declaration of Donald S.
They always choose
Zachary
money
in
over the
support of
safety.
motion to
See, that's the thing, yo. Like, he acting like this is something that they never done. Like, this is business. It's how they always did their business. They've been marketing Black Death for how many years now? But now when it's affecting you, it's a huge issue. Like, that's why I can't get behind this shit, yo. Like, the same tactics you saying that they ran on Kendrick, they ran for you for 15 years, Drake. The same tactics. You was the beneficiary. Now it's the issue.
'12 Declaration of Donald S. Zachary in support of motion to dismiss the first amended complaint, paragraph 3, Jones versus Combs, number 1 to 24-01457, SDNY March 27th, 2024, ECF number 26, 13 ID, paragraphs 18-31-66, 14 Declaration of Sir Lucian Grange in support of motion to dismiss paragraph 24, Jones versus Combs, number 1 to 24-01457, SDNY March 27th, 2024, ECF number 26-1, 15 ID, emphasis added.
Oh my God. Well-being of its artists, notwithstanding its public commitment to behaving honorably and with having honesty and setting the right tone in all that we do. Many months prior to filing this litigation, Drake attempted to address these claims privately with UMG. Drake believed, per Sir Grange, that UMG leadership should be held accountable for the decision we make and how we conduct ourselves. And UMG purports to care about threatening and abusive behavior. Indeed, UMG's code of conduct notes that harassment can take different forms, such as speech that is threatening or abusive, and declares that violence, threats, and physical intimidation are not tolerated at Universal Music because we all share the responsibility to make health and safety a consistent priority. Yet, in response to Drake concerns, UMG responded that Drake would face humiliation if he brought legal action. So they warned him, and he did it anyway. Presuming that the public would be unable to understand UMG's role in exploiting and profiting from this dispute. UMG's posture as the world's largest music company was that it was untouchable. UMG's response to Drake was especially pervasive, given that it's perfectly willing to sue to protect its own interests when it believes that doing so will protect its property. UMG is engaged in the business of acquiring, administering, licensing, exploiting, and otherwise monetizing.
15 ID, emphasis added, 16 ID.
Come on, man.
Drake new law. The music of its artists, including Drake, and it does not hesitate to file lawsuits when doing so suits its financial interests. This lawsuit is both necessary and appropriate because UMG has repeatedly defamed Drake while exploiting and monetizing his work. 23 that with his own record label having waged a campaign against him and refusing to address this as a business matter, Drake has been left with no choice but to seek legal redress against UMG. UMG may spin this complaint as a rap beef gone legal, but this lawsuit is not about a war of words between artists. This lawsuit involves no claims against Kendrick Lamar or any other artist. Instead, it is about UMG, the publisher and exclusive rights holder of Lamar's music as well as Drake's, and its malicious decision to publish and promote, through covert means, false allegations about Drake that UMG knew were false, explosive, inflammatory, and certain to result in both vitriol.
Yo, but Drake did the same thing. Like, yo, why is he trying to, like, he really trying to play like he was a victim? You did the same thing, yo. Kendrick just took it a step further. And you lost. You lost.
Result in both vitriol and substantial harm to Drake's reputation. 24. Notwithstanding a relationship spanning more than a decade, UMG intentionally sought to turn Drake into a pariah, a target for harassment or worse. UMG did so not because it believes any of these false claims to be true, but instead because it would profit from damaging Drake's reputation. Drake thus brings this action to hold UMG responsible for the actual and foreseeable harm he has suffered, and will continue to suffer, because of UMG's choice to elevate profits over the well-being of its artists and the music-consuming public.
Yo, Drake crazy, man. Yo, what is this? Hold on, y'all. So is he still suing? Now they just going, this all stuff just going through Drake life. Now they talking about UMG and what they about. Damn. It say UMG, Universal Music has licensing agreement with all of the major platforms, including but not limited to iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, Napster, and Spotify, as well as TikTok and Meta, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Threads. Damn. An event that a person or entity wants to use a song outside of one of his licensed platforms, for example, to play during a political rally or sporting event, it has to request the right to do so from Universal Music, which holds the what the fuck is that? Synchronization contract. A third party cannot legally use Universal Music recordings. Yo, so did he drop the lawsuit, y'all? We gotta go back to the beginning. Yeah, we don't need to read all this. Oh, hold on, what the fuck is this? All right, we can read this. Since the initial publication of the recording has been streamed globally more than 990 million times on Spotify alone, as of the date of this filing. The recording repeatedly accuses Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including pedophilia and other acts that will require registering as a sex offender, and of being registered as a sex offender. Within the first minute, the recording identifies Drake by name and states that Lamar has heard that Drake has predilection for underage women. Says Drake, I hear you like them young. You better never go to cell block 1. The next line is thinly veiled threat that Drake should be careful that he never ends up in prison, a place where child predators are notoriously the targets of violence. You better not go to cell block 1. The recording continues to say that any woman who falls in love with Drake should be careful to hide her little sister from him. Next, in a perverse reference to Drake's 2021 album, Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophiles, in a play on the dual meaning of minor, a person under the age of 18 in a musical scale. The recording said that Drake is trying to strike a chord and is probably a minor. Later in the recording, Lamar describes Drake as a Malibu Most Wanted. The recording continues to say that Drake and the people in his inner circle need to be served with a subpoena because a predator moves in flocks. And asserts that Drake's name got to be registered and placed on Neighborhood Watch. Yo, why did he do that? Why did he write this like this, yo? The recording also repeatedly suggests that violence should be used against Drake because he's a pedophile. Like the sound of someone being beaten up, and recording repeats, wop, 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 wop. And then Lamar says, well, fuck him up. Later, the recording threats that if Drake comes to Oakland, where Lamar grew up, he will not make it out alive. I think that Oakland show going to be your last stop. The recording makes clear that justice will be served, not through the legal system or commentary on social media. Fuck a caption. but through physical violence. Want action, no accident. I'm hands-on. He fuck around, get polished. Fuck. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, this is too funny. Y'all can't stop laughing, y'all. At the end of the recording, the lyrics threateningly repeat, hey, 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 run for your life. The recording contains numerous additional statements that imply the existence of evidence to support the allegations against Drake. The recording threatens that Lamar could reveal more secrets about Drake. Rabbit and hole still deep. I can go further, I promise. And that the public will believe him. The audience not dumb. Shit the stories how you want. Hey Drake, we're not slow. The recordings continues to make reference to several Drake songs, family members, and God's plan, and accusing Drake of being a liar for denying allegations of criminality. The family matter and the truth of the matter, it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. The recording also makes a vulgar attack on Drake's brand OVO. What OVO for? The other vaginal option. It let me hear you say OVO. Like, yo, this is too funny, yo. This is too funny. Like, he take issue with the whole song. Like, it ain't just a few bars. It's the whole, everything he rap. Furthering the recording refrain that Drake is not like us. The recording alludes to Drake Jewish heritage, saying that Drake is not a colleague, but a fucking colonizer. With the recording, UMG also published an accompanying image on May 4th, 2024 to YouTube, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Tidal, SoundCloud, AudioMac, Napster, Cubase, Last FM, Deezer, UMG's website, Meta, and TikTok. Any person who views, listens, or streams a recording of one of these platforms can view the image. What is the image? Yo, God, he hate this song. Now I see why he mad at LeBron now, yo. Now I understand why he's mad. Yo, he fucking hates this song. Like, he might never like nothing worse. I mean, hate nothing worse. Yo, this is wild, yo. This is fucking wild. The image features an aerial view of Drake's Toronto home. Includes identifying information regarding the location of the home. And it's covered in icons used by law enforcement and public safety. We already right. We said it. We read that already. All right. No Drake has engaged. We said we read that. The recording provides no evidentiary support for the defamatory allegations. Instead, the recording reference hearing these allegations and threatens that it can go further. All right. On May 5th, 2024, just days after UMG published the recording and image, Drake denied all allegations in the song called The Heart Part 6. Drake explained that he has never been with no one underage and that his name is not on the sex offender list. Despite being able to contact Drake, UMG did not ask Drake or his representative to discuss his denials of the allegations contained within the defamatory material. All right, we already know about the violence. At least 2 shots, 1 bullet went through the fence. The news quickly jumped on the story of violent attacks against Drake. And with all major news outlets publishing stories for days, news helicopters flew overhead the Toronto house, while no one from UMG ever reached out to Drake or any representative to check on it. Yo, they don't ever do that. Like, yo, come on, like, yo, this shit is crazy. All these rappers that die yearly, you think they check on these motherfuckers? These motherfuckers be ODing, getting killed on their block, all type of shit. See, he was used to getting special treatment. Yo, this is what happened, yo, when you motherfucking, when your children don't face no consequences. You know, this is a prime example of a spoiled child. He been spoiled all his life. Also, on May 7th, 2024, across the globe in London, United Kingdom, Drake OVO clothing store was vandalized with graffiti that read, "They not like us." The graffiti was likely viewed by hundreds of Carnaby Street passerbys before the glass window could be removed, and millions online once the news broke. We already read about that one. A watermark for Vivo LLC appears at the bottom right of the video. The YouTube caption of the video lists a Vivo LLC. Universal Music is a significant owner of Vivo. I didn't know that. Which is probably held American multinational music video hosting service. Universal Music uses Vivo to distribute video content to global platforms such as YouTube and major television networks. The video depicts images bolstering the recording defamatory allegations. No, he playing hopscotch. Hey, yo. Kendrick Lamar is depicted in front of shipping containers with air conditioning units inside. These images are associated with sex trafficking. Yo, this shit is too funny, Drake. Cut it out, yo. Yo, why'd you do this, yo? Yo, you ain't had nobody in your corner to be like, yo, Drake. I know you mad, bro, but I don't know if this is the right way to go about it, Pepe. Yo, we might need to go about it some other type of way. Hey, yo, I didn't never notice this shit. Like, did y'all notice this part in the video? Did y'all think sex trafficking when y'all seen this? Like, I don't know. I don't be looking that deep in the videos, but I guess, I mean, I see it now. But I didn't notice at first. Oh, my goodness. The video also includes allusions to Drake Over Your Brain, which is represented by an owl, in a combination with lyrics, wop, 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 that fucking mud. The video shows Lamar beating an owl-shaped pinata with a bat. During this scene, a caption appears at the bottom of the video that states, disclaimer, no owls were harmed during the making of this video. Yo, he had a problem with the whole process. Damn. And in its conclusion, the video depicts a prolonged shot of a live owl in a cage. The clearer meaning is Drake belongs behind bars. I don't know, yo. Did y'all catch all of that? Did y'all catch the owl in the cage indicating that Drake belongs behind bars? Yo, like they really studied that motherfucker. Defendant's initial publication of the video on YouTube has been viewed more than 260 million times as of the day of this filing. As of the day of this filing, UMG's original publication of the video remains available on all aforementioned platforms. On information and belief, each of Sir Grange, Mr. Janik, and Mr. Lipton, and Mr. Avery Lipton played a key role in the initial publication of the video, either in directing or approving the publication in or failing to prevent its publication. Yo, he went in on his ass. Hell yeah, he went in. All right, so UMG does not believe now, nor has it ever believed, that Drake is a pedophile, a sex offender, or otherwise a criminal. Defendant republished, and promoted the defamatory material, knowing the allegations were not true, or at least with reckless disregard its falsity. UMG also published and promoted the false allegations against Drake despite the inherently improbability of the allegations, reliable contrary information, and awareness that they were supported by any evidence, let alone reliable evidence. All right, yo. Yo, I thought, yo, hold up, yo. All right, let's read this. UMG also knew, or should have known, that by publishing the defamatory material, it was gambling with Drake's safety. Critically, in addition to accusing Drake of being a criminal pedophile, the defamatory material calls for violence against Drake and depicts his Toronto address. Incidents like 2016 Pizzagate show how accusing someone of being a pedophile and or committing crimes against children can quickly spin out of control into a viral conspiracy theory and acts of real violence. Physical. Yo, this Doug is tripping. UMG directly knows. Hey, Sean! Hold on, y'all. Goodness gracious, yo, do not get one of them Alaskan Malamutes, man. Stay the fuck away from them goddamn dudes. They're not domesticated enough. Stay the fuck away from them. He put his ass outside, man. It pissed me the fuck off. All right. On June 9th, 2024, Interscope reposted a tweet bragging that Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, has become the fastest rap song to reach 300 million Spotify streams in only 35 days. The post features the image side by side with a photo of Kendrick Lamar. The photo has approximately 644,000 views. Man, stay the fuck with them Doug, yo. They don't fucking listen, yo. Doug is a fucking headache. They just fucking ripped my fucking curtain. Alright, y'all. This is 2 motherfucking main pages. I thought the lawsuit was dropped. What is this? Oh my, what is this here? Oh, why this lawsuit ain't dropped? He just filed this today. Yo, where's people getting that Drake dropped this lawsuit? Where are people getting that from? Where are people getting that he dropped this lawsuit, though? When he just dropped it? Because they just filed this today. He dropped the other one and filed a new one. Let me see something. Drake drops UMG lawsuit. No, you ain't gotta tell me the channel, bro.
According to RollingStone.com, Drake has withdrawn his legal petition against Universal Music Group, UMG, and Spotify after accusing the companies of colluding to discount the streaming licensing rates on Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us in exchange for increased audibility.
He didn't drop the lawsuit. That was a legal petition. Now he's filing a lawsuit. That's what he did. See, your motherfuckers' verbiage be all wrong. He didn't drop shit. Just the same thing. He rescinded his legal petition and filed the lawsuit. Yeah, look. There you go. He didn't drop shit. Newsweek got it right. Drake withdraws Spotify UMG lawsuit over diss track. He didn't drop nothing. Yeah, I just said, don't post it, bro. Yeah, he ain't dropped nothing. Yeah, he ain't dropped shit. Yeah, so motherfuckers ain't. I'm glad I ain't. Well, I did talk about that shit earlier. Drake still wants some bitch ass shit. He ain't drop a goddamn thing. Look, all these pages. Yeah, he withdrew it. See, people don't be using the right words. Drop means a lot of times. Well, I ain't gonna say it means, but when you hear drop, you think that he not pursuing it. No, he withdrew his lawsuit and he filed it in federal court. Yeah, he wild as shit, man. Oh, wild ass nigga. But we got some more paperwork too, y'all. I don't know how long is this. I ain't reading. It's fucking 54 pages. We ain't reading all this. Yo, so Megan Thee Stallion is sued as well, man. And these motherfuckers getting their sue on by somebody named Emilio Garcia. And she is saying that Megan Thee Stallion is on some old freak shit. Plaintiff was employed. Hold up. Preliminary statement. A. 2 red bones kissing in the back seat. Girl, don't stop. Keep going. And relax me. You want me to join in? Then ask me. I like girls that attract me. That's Meg. Okay, that she say Meg living by that. You know what I mean? Plaintiff was employed as Pete's personal cameraman. Unfortunately, the hypersexualized and graphic lyrics pervasive throughout Pete's music blended into a working relationship between Pete and her employees, as she subjected plaintiff to unlawful discrimination, harassment, and retaliation on numerous occasions. Let's get to the factual allegations. I ain't really know. Jurisdiction and venue, prerequisite, statement of facts. I gotta read the statement of facts. Yeah, we gotta read statement of facts, y'all. Pete forced plaintiff to engage in group sex during their trip to Spain. Yo, Megan Thee Stallion gotta put that bottle down, man. That bottle fucking her life up. She gonna end up catching something out this bitch keep fucking around. All right, so let's start right here. Yeah, yo, but that's not the narrative that was getting put out there. He just withdrew his petition and filed another one. Like they made it seem like that it was done with. Plaintiff was hired. Yo, what is the title in this video? I gotta change the title. I think in the title I got. No, I put Drake and Fair for his life. That's what I put in the title. Drake and Fair for his life. All right, plaintiff was hired in 2019 to serve as Pete's personal cameraman. As part of defendant practice, plaintiff was required to not only take photos, videos, and edit content, which was all done under the strict control and direct supervision of Pete, but also to accompany Pete almost everywhere she went as part of her entourage. This entourage included Pete, plaintiff, dancer, makeup artist, nail techs, and others who were unable to spend their time for their own benefit, as people was always looming, micromanaging, and otherwise trying to cultivate a vibe. She trying to get fucked up. Life a vibe. Indeed, this vibe was one where Pete was perceived as the leader and all others was subservient, present only to attend to the needs and demands of Pete. By way of example, whenever Pete was dieting, which was frequently, she would forbid anyone from eating around her. As a result, plaintiff and other employees who are working sometimes 16 plus hours a day were forced to eat in secret. Indeed, even when they were catering, Pete would expressly forbid people from eating in her presence. You don't eat in the queen's presence. Like, yo, people be crazy, yo. If she saw a plan for anyone eating, Pete would launch into a temper tantrum, ridiculing anyone who brought food into her vicinity. Plaintiff, who was open with Pete about his eating disorders and struggles with weight, felt targeted, ashamed, and humiliated by Pete, ridiculed. Pete held plaintiff and others to her unreasonable and legal standard of beauty and targeted those, including plaintiff, who failed to conform. By way of further example, plaintiff, as part of Pete's entourage, was required to attend strip clubs, nightclubs, and other excursions. The more Pete became inebriated, the more demanding and bossier she would become. Plaintiff was afraid that Pete would retaliate against him if he refused to what the fuck is that word? Well, refused to her every demand. Fears that would ultimately come to fruition. A quest. Plaintiff had to travel. Hold up. Birthday strip club excursion in New York City. What the fuck happened? Plaintiff had to travel with Pete and her entourage as a part of his duties. This is a guy. Other than when they were in California. Plaintiff spent most of his working time for the defendant in New York. On average, plaintiff was in New York at least once per month, and sometimes remained in New York for a week at a time. Plaintiff spent a substantial amount of time working in both California, New York State, and New York City. and suffered the unlawful acts detailed and harm alleged herein in these locations. For example, on or around February 15, 2022, plaintiff and his entourage were required to accompany Pete to New York City strip club in celebration of her 27th birthday. Plaintiff, who is a gay man and not attracted to women, only went with Pete because she was required to. In fact, Pete had proclivity for going to strip clubs and compelled plaintiffs to go on dozens of trips to strip clubs in New York, California, Atlanta, Georgia, and overseas. Plaintiff attended strictly out of his duties to his employee, not for his own pleasure or benefit. On this particular strip club trip, Pete took a liking to one of the female dancers. Pete began physically touching the dancer in a sexual provocative manner, which made plaintiff feel extremely uncomfortable, embarrassed, and disgusted. And he was present only because he was Pete's employee and she made him attend. Plaintiff tried to avoid the sensual contact he was witnessing his boss take part in, but was unable to leave. Another member of Pete's entourage, in earshot of both Pete and plaintiff, noticed Pete was taking a liking to the dancer and asked what her real name was. The stripper responded with her name. Her surname happened to be the same as plaintiff and is a surname shared by hundreds of thousands of Americans. Naturally, everyone who heard this, including Pete, looked at plaintiff to see his response. With dozens of eyes on him, plaintiff felt obliged to respond, acknowledging they shared their surname by joking, "Hey, cousin." In response, Pete immediately shot plaintiff a sinister look. A look so malignant that he had never seen Pete express before. The entourage and Pete resumed partying, but it was clear to everyone that plaintiff's innocuous comments had flipped a switch in Pete, who refused to acknowledge plaintiff the rest of the fucking night. You motherfucker. As a result of this treatment, combined with the force to watch his boss, Pete, engage with a stripper, plaintiff began to feel even more uncomfortable and ashamed, and even though he did nothing wrong. As a result, Pete acts intermissions. Plaintiff removed himself from the situation, proceeded to leave the strip club and wait in one of the SUVs in the convoy, waiting for Pete and the entourage. All right, let's see what the fuck happened. All right, Pete forced plaintiff to watch as she engaged in group sex during their trip to Spain. Man, fuck, that's a crime. The fuck ain't like that. And about June 2022, plaintiff traveled with Pete to Ibiza, Spain, as part of our summer 2022 tour. As was defendant practice, plaintiff was required to join Pete. When Pete was through partying, she and her entourage filled out the nightclub into a caravan of SUVs waiting in front. Plaintiff got into one of the SUVs along with Pete and with three of her best friends, DK, QJ, and Jayla. They best friends. The SUV had a driver and an unknown passenger sitting in the front seats. The SUV had a large passenger compartment. The front bench seats positioned directly behind the driver, and the front passenger seats faced the rear of the vehicle. The rear of the SUV had a forward-facing back bench seat. As such, the driver and the front passenger were separated from the passenger compartment, which had two bench seats that allowed the passengers to face each other. Plaintiff sat in the seat with his back up against the driver's seat. Plaintiff was on the left side of the vehicle and facing the rear to the left of plaintiff, in the middle of the front bench. What the fuck? All right, was Jayla. Across from plaintiff and Jayla sat the three remaining passengers. QJ on the left side of the vehicle, facing forward and directly across from the plaintiff. Pete in the middle of the rear bench seat, facing forward and directly across from Jayla. And DK to Pete's right, on the right side of the vehicle, facing forward with the open seat in front of her. The SUV departed the nightclub. Plaintiff began to play music from his phone as directed by Pete. At first, Pete and the best friends were dancing to the music and generally continued the party. Suddenly, Pete, who was, upon information and belief, intoxicated, began to put her hands on her best friend's face, breast, and buttocks. Soon, Pete was kissing her best friends. This made plaintiff feel uncomfortable as he was in an SUV in a foreign country at night with his boss, who was acting inappropriate. Unlike the harassment that occurred in New York City strip club, plaintiff was unable to remove himself from the situation and begin to bend. become very distressed. Pete continued to escalate the sexual acts in which she and her best friend were engaging. Next, Pete got out of her seat and moved forward toward Jayla, whom she was sitting across from. Pete removed Jayla's undergarments, exposing her. Pete then proceeded to take her fingers and insert them into, otherwise known as fingering. Pete stimulated Jayla with her index. Damn, Pete. DK commented that Pete had long-ass nails. The next morning, Jayla complained that her was in pain due to the long fingernails which Pete was wearing at the time of the acts. Taking Pete's lead, the other best friends began to perform on one another and Pete. When Pete finished Jayla, she moved to DK. DK then removed Pete's. God damn. Jesus Christ. The group sex, which took place in front of plaintiff, made him feel extremely uncomfortable, disgusted, and disbelief. Plaintiff was not Pete's best friend, nor was he a friend at all. Rather, plaintiff was only present in SUV to perform his duties. Probably forever. Probably for the next 7 years. This Meg Thee Stallion got a lawsuit. A guy that was working for said he was forced to endure wild sex parties. And well, not really sex parties, but like wild things. Player was in the middle of Spain, a country in which he was unfamiliar. And it was the middle of the night, making it impossible to remove himself from the situation. As such, plaintiff continued to play music on his phone, looked out of the window, otherwise tried to ignore the orgy in which Pete was participating and forced plaintiff to watch. In a clear effort to avoid the inappropriate sexual acts and oppose such unlawful activities, which constituted inferior terms and conditions of employment. Upon information belief, Pete did not forget this incident. Rather, she relishes in it. On October 2024, Pete released her most recent studio album, Megan Act 2, the fifth track of the album song, Best Friend. The verse of Best Friend clearly memorized the sexual harassment to which plaintiff was subjected. A, two red bones kissing in the back seat. Girl, stop. Keep going and relax me. You want me to join in? Just ask me. I like girls that attract me. Okay, that's where she got that from. Okay, it's a real incident. Eventually, the SUV reached the residence where Pete, the best friends, and employees of defendant were staying. Wanting to continue to party, Pete led the entourage to a basement room of the residence, which was set up to be like a nightclub. In the nightclub, another employee, Alex, took over the DJing duties. Yo, Sonny, are you really eating that fucking fat bitch? Spit that shit out. Yo, these motherfuckers is crazy. Pete continued, why are you still chewing? Spit that shit out. Then Pete grabbed the food off Alex's plate, who was sitting closer to Pete than plaintiff was, and threw the food over her shoulder. Plaintiff was humiliated and ashamed. He got up nervously, laughed, excused himself, and proceeded to go to sleep for the night. The next morning, plaintiff woke up early and went to the resident kitchen to find some breakfast. There he encountered Pete and the personal chef. Pete made eye contact with plaintiff and said, were you in the car with us last night? Plaintiff responded truthfully that he had, and plaintiff made it clear. Look, if she don't remember. See, I told y'all she don't be, yo, I'm telling you, y'all. So she didn't even remember that he was in the car with her. And that goes into, I really believe that Megan Thee Stallion do not know who shot her, y'all. I think she get that blacked out drunk that she don't know. She don't know. That's my honest opinion, y'all. And this goes into that. How the fuck you asked him was he in the car last night? Suddenly, the color drained from Pete's face, and she immediately changed her tone, threatening plaintiff, don't you ever speak about what happened in that car. After subjecting plaintiff to sexual harassment and fatophobic comments, defendant retaliated against him. As plaintiff returned from Ibiza, he noticed a clear shift in the terms and conditions of his employment with defendant. By way of example, prior to his trip, plaintiff was booked regularly, frequently every week, and sometimes worked 7 days per week. Indeed, plaintiff was part of Pete's traveling posse. However, after the Pete subject plaintiff to the harassment detailed herein, defendant began to request fewer services of plaintiff in favor of other photographers. Due to the pay structure in place, This had a direct impact on plaintiff compensation, and failure to book plaintiff certainly negatively impacted the terms and conditions of his employment. However, Pete continued to forbid plaintiff from working with any other celebrities or anyone else for that matter. Indeed, Pete remained possessive over plaintiff and prevented him from working elsewhere by deliberately failed to give him work. This was by design in retaliation against plaintiff. When Pete did call plaintiff to work in his reassimilate into her entourage, Pete made clear she held disdain for plaintiff. By the way, on August 2022, plaintiff was in Pete's hotel room in Portugal with Alex and others. Plaintiff was tired but forbidden from leaving the entourage as Pete wanted to keep him close and under her direct control. Like, yo, these motherfuckers these people with money is crazy, man. Suddenly, plaintiff was jolted to his feet with an object, which upon information and belief was a TV remote, was thrown at him and hit him in his head. Plaintiff looked, saw Pete standing where the remote had come from, and asked who threw the remote at his head. However, everyone was silent, as they were afraid to truthfully say that Pete threw the remote. Initially, Pete denied throwing it, but then, in a raised voice, shouted, "So what if I did throw it? Then what? What are you going to do about it?" Or words to that effect. Clearly, Pete was both physically and mentally intimidating plaintiff in an effort to keep him silent about what took place in the Bees of Spain, amongst other lawful acts detailed herein. Around this time, also on August 22, defendant further altered the terms. All right, so after he seen her fucking her homegirls, Pete lashed out, "Bitch, you want to fucking quit on me, ho? You want to quit?" Yo, she got that. That's the alcohol, man. The alcohol be fucking shorty up. I ain't reading all this, y'all. Yeah, that motherfucking Drake a wild ass boy, man. He's a wild guy, man. He's a wild one. Just like Megan Thee Stallion. Yo, it just seems as though, yo, a lot of these industry people are just horrible human beings, man. Like, it is what it is, yo. I don't know if it's the coaching, what they call it, coaching climate. I don't know if it's learned behavior. I don't know what it is, yo, but it seems like when these people get money, they start thinking they be above reproach, above the law, just above every motherfucking thing. They can just do what they want to do to people, man. But it's up to you to stay there. You feel me? Like I told you, yo, can't a motherfucker quid pro quo me. Like, on no level. Like, I ain't with it. A lot of these people choose to work in these hostile environments, but then want to sue when things don't go their way. Like, I don't really be respecting that shit for real. I don't really be respecting that shit. Because if it was a problem then, if it's a problem now, it should have been a problem then. You know? That's how I look at it. Don't wait until the end and then make it an issue. It been an issue. You should have addressed that shit back then. That'd be my take on that type of shit for real. Yo, this fucking Doug, y'all fucking chewed up my... God, this motherfucker, yo. You better not say a goddamn word. Look at this shit, y'all. Motherfucker, y'all. Yeah, yo, like, yo, people be allowing themselves to be ruled by money and dictated by money. You know, if that's what you willing to put up with, then you gonna face a lot of that. Yo, you gotta be willing to turn that shit down sometimes. Yo, you shouldn't jeopardize your morals and integrity for no amount of money. For real, man. Like, whenever they see that you can control by money, they can control you, period. It's almost like being controlled by your emotions. If motherfucker can control your emotions, they can control your life. If a person know that you fueled by money, they can control your life. That's the shit that Cassie going through right now. You know what I mean? You was controlled by money. Now shit ain't, you know what I mean? The money ran out. One way or another, you trying to figure out a way to get more money. And now look what the fuck going on. Now all your business ready to be aired out through federal court proceedings and, you know what I mean? Like, shit just, I don't know. Guess it is what it is, for real. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer of people only do what you allow. People only do what you allow, man. If you allow a motherfucker a person to mess you over, then that's what the fuck they're gonna do. You know what I mean? Something you didn't nip that shit in the bud. Straight up. Yeah, straight up, no heart. I agree. Megan like that drink. Megan like that drink. But yo, shit, what's the call? Need to get his hands. Tory Lanez need to get his hands of that. Get a hold of that document. Cause that can help him, yo. Because I honestly think that's what happened, yo. Like a lot of people think that she just put that shit on Tory. Yo, I think she don't know who shot her. Like I really do. I really do, yo. Cause I didn't been drunk. Like I used to drink like a motherfucker, yo. Before my stomach got all fucked up and I caught pancreatitis and shit. Like I done had a million nights that I don't remember. For real. And I think, yo, she was that drunk. You know, she kind of tall, you know. She probably, you know, what's that shit called? BMI? Yo, this Doug. It's gonna make you put him outside. Like I don't know if it's called your BMI. She probably can handle some liquor. I don't think she remember. Yo, this fucking Doug, yo, was getting on my god. Yo, he been doing this shit for 2 days. I think it's because the Lord Doug and Heat. Yo, but man, you're not getting close to her. You're not even the same breed. She can't even have sex like that. Like little as shit. Yo, do I gotta put you outside? Do I gotta put you outside? Yeah, I think that's what it is, bro. He been going all night. Motherfucker can't get no sleep in this bit. I gotta keep barking and shit. But shit, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, crazy. I just sat back and watched that motherfucker. You like shit, you had an issue with that? You had an issue with her, nothing to her home, man. I was shit. Yo, crazy. But it better, I guess. I don't know. I can't even call him a man, I guess, because he like men. But shit, I wouldn't have mind watching that shit. You hear me? I wouldn't have mind sitting back watching. What you mean? Yeah, I think the gun went off. I honestly think that Kelsey grabbed the strap. Tory tried to take it from her, and the bitch went off. That's what happened. And she don't remember who it was, so she blamed Tory. I think that's what happened, yo. That's fucked up though. But she can't say that because that would kill her image. That'd kill her image. So what she did was she chose her image. She chose her image over Tory, which is fucked up. You crazy motherfucker. Yeah, for real. Man, that shit crazy. Yo, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this damn Doug, yo. Y'all make sure I hit that like button, y'all. Support the platform. If you can, Cash App at the bottom, Baltimore Swag. Support the movement. Share the live. It's another day. Keep it G News. Appreciate everybody that tapped in. And I'm out.